So we're recording now.
Am I in frame?
All right. Lower. Up a little bit. Right there's good. Yeah. Okay. And all right. So first, we'll just if you want to just like say your name, just kind of introduce yourself, say who you are, and then we can kind of move into the questions from there. And just feel free whenever if you need to take a pause, something like that. Just
sure.
Yeah. So just
Yeah. Well, my name's Allie Feeney. I come from Vail, Colorado. If you don't know where that is, it's a little ski town. So, winter wonderland. I got into art as a child. My mom's an art teacher, so that's all I've ever known to do. Always putting crayons in my way. So, and art's been a conversation for a long time for me.
Okay. And so like, what's your major? Like, what fields of art do you like specialize in and explore? What kind of things do you work in?
My field of study is my master's is going to be in glass. So that means I do glass blowing, glass casting, fusing, flame working, but that's not the only things I'm regularly interested in. I also work with fibers and printmaking, bronze casting. I'm somebody who, it's not necessarily about the material, it's about what the project needs and what kinds of ideas I want to convey using materials. So, for example, I'm working on a fibers project and I bought felt. I've never worked with felt before, but I felt that it was going to be a fun material to work with and it would give the kind of quality that I wanted. So whatever projects require, that's what I go for.
Okay. And when did you feel like you knew you wanted to continue on with grad school? Like, what time during undergrad or before did you kind of realize that?
Well, my friend, when I was a senior, was applying for grad school, and I was tempted at the time to also take that path. And my professors were also encouraging me. I think what stopped me, though, was I wasn't sure that I was ready for that, since I felt that it would have been better to have left undergrad, go somewhere in the world, and for me that was Virginia at the Chrysler Museum of Art, and I worked in their glass blowing studio for 2 years. But at the time I really wanted to go, and I kind of talked myself out of it thinking I wasn't ready, and I probably would have been, but I really think that time away is really important between grad and undergrad, because you just have time to think. And I mean, for me, my senior year was a whirlwind of responsibilities, getting my final works done. We had thesis shows as well, but it was a little less of a scale than grad students. Grad students had like an entire gallery. We split gallery spaces, which is a really fun collaborative experience. However, it was a lot of planning, and I just didn't think I could apply to school and do that at the same time. Hindsight, I think it was the right choice, but I've always wanted to go to grad school.
And so like being like a grad student as well as a professor, like as like together, what does that entail? Like, what are your responsibilities being like a student and a teacher at the same time?
Right. So, as a grad student, my responsibilities are to work on my thesis work. And at the University of Texas Arlington, we have a wonderful opportunity to teach simultaneously. And so we work on balancing both those things. And so kind of by day, I'm a teacher. I teach 3D design, which is an introductory level class, working with sculptural elements. And by night or the rest of the time I'm not teaching is working on my artwork or my other classes. So I essentially have 3 different jobs at this school. I'm a grad student where I'm a student taking classes and learning. I am a researcher where I'm working on my art and thesis work and practice and making artwork. And then I'm a teacher where I also teach undergrads basic fundamentals for art.
You'll take a little break. You can
Okay.
rest it for a second. But, yeah, no, it's
I know, it was
pretty,
really hard.
pretty uncomfortable. Yeah.
It was so comfortable. I was like, I had to change positions like 4 times.
And it bobbed down a tiny bit for a second, but
Okay.
I think I can always. I'll probably just cut away at those parts.
I can always redo questions.
Yeah, I think with although the first one and the third one are really good. I think when did you know you wanted to continue on with grad school? It was really good. It's just at the beginning, if you could kind of like try to restate it a little more.
Yeah, I can do it again.
Yeah, you kind of just jumped in a little bit. But that's
Sorry.
fine. No, it's all good. That's hard to remember.
I'm just
but-
also like, don't look at the camera, don't look at
Yeah.
the camera, and I did it once, and I was like, damn it, don't look at the camera. Because
Alright, it says just when it says battery at 1.
Oh
right here.
crap! For this?
Yeah,
Okay.
but let's just go ahead and try to
All right.
do it.
Can you turn it down? This shotgun mic down a little bit. It's just
Okay.
like aiming directly at her. It looked like it was kind of like at her like top of her head a little bit.
Like that?
Yeah, that should be good.
Okay.
Where's the bat? Oh, right there. That. There's no way you can like look at it and do that at the same time, is there?
I could try, but it would be a lot harder.
I mean, maybe I can hold it and watch. I guess. Is that like? I mean,
I can stare. There's a cable that's dangling right by where you were, so if you stand over there, I can
that's
stare
actually
at that.
yeah, that's a good idea actually. And
So that's like right where your head is.
Yeah.
Where it was.
so then I can watch it while you have that up there. So you sure that's not like 3/4? That's probably.
I know it has like the 1 bar.
Yeah, the one that should be okay. Let's keep going then.
Alright.
So I'll redo the, when did I know I want to go to grad school?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Are we ready?
Yeah, we're ready. Do you want me to re-ask you it, or yeah, you can get it.
No, I think I can get there.
Okay, 1 second. Up a little bit. Yeah. Yes. Down a little bit. Up. Up. Right there is good. Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and press it.
Okay. Oh, the recording button.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I think I knew when I wanted to go to graduate school when I entered my senior year of college. A fellow friend of mine was applying to graduate school, and I was intrigued by attempting to also apply with her. However, what stopped me was thinking about all the responsibilities I had to do that year overwhelmed me a lot. I was at a high credit hour, and I decided that it probably would be best additionally to go out into the real world and get some experience. So for me, that was going down to Virginia to the Chrysler Museum of Art, where I worked in their glassblowing studio. And that really helped me kind of isolate what I wanted to do more than having to figure that out in grad school. So I am very much appreciative that I decided to not apply, but I knew I wanted to go to grad school, and I knew that was going to be a path for me for years while I was an undergrad.
Okay. And how do you balance like friendships and being professional in life with your undergrad students?
So it's a challenge because I'm additionally a student. So what's been an issue is I want to be friends with undergrads while also simultaneously being their professor and colleague, and so kind of limiting what I can and can't do with undergrads has been a learning experience. But I find that most of them just want to have someone to talk to, so I'm available for people to talk to. I know lots of resources for undergrads as well. If they need them, that's something I passionately research to make sure that they have access to them. And kind of offering advice when they ask for it. And it's a team building kind of community. Art's always going to be a team player sport, whether you're in film or in glass or painting. It's always going to be not just you working in the studio or needing help with projects. So I think enforcing that community is really important for me. So balancing it is a challenge in itself, since I'm neither, and I'm a student, but I'm also a faculty member. So kind of navigating that is interesting, but making sure that I talk to my major professors has been really helpful.
Okay. And what are your like plans for the future after like post grad school and just future goals for your profession in general?
When I leave here, my major goals as far as continuing on with my master's is to teach at an institution. I really enjoy teaching. It's something that brings me a lot of joy and it's very engaging. However, I'm not opposed to additionally taking residence at a place that is an education environment, but it may not necessarily mean that I'm teaching, whether that be administrative work or, scheduling, whatever that looks like. I'm happy, or technician, I'm happy to be that person. I just enjoy being in the arts community and contributing whichever way I can and kind of keeping my toes in the water. It doesn't even necessarily have to be glass for myself. I'd be interested in working in a program that doesn't have it, but an opportunity to go somewhere else to work in glass would be ideal. So my first goal is to move to New York City after leaving here, as I love this city. It is magical and wild and crazy, but it has so many opportunities. Another job I'm really interested in trying to work in is art handling. Art handling lets you access rare collections and pieces that aren't up, in museums, and being able to interact with that, and also kind of that art collective world. It's very exclusive. It's very privileged to kind of see what kind of happens in that world. So I have lots of aspirations, I guess you could say.
And so do you want anything else you want to say? Just any like final remarks or like wisdom, I guess, or any sort of anything you really want people to know about you?
I think the thing something I want people to understand about me is I think it's important to push your boundary and find things that you're interested in. Because when I went to undergrad, I thought I was going to be an illustrator or graphic design. I was looking at artists like James Jean. And I thought that was the world I wanted to be in. And Alfred made me change my perspective and do something different, which was taking glass blowing. If I hadn't done that, I would not be where I am now, which is sculptural and multi-material. And I'm really thankful for that, because I think that I don't even know where I would be right now without that opportunity. So I think just trying new things. If you don't like it, I mean, great, you learned something more about yourself. But if you like it, then that was an opportunity well worth your time. So that's something I think is really important that I think can be stressed more in the arts world, and both academically and everywhere else.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we should be good, man. Okay.
Do we need to redo anything?
I think it was, you did pretty well on all of them, actually. You got a lot of material to work with. All right, stop.
I was trying to stare at that cord.
Yeah, stop.